All right, on this paper, okay, if you look, it doesn't have any graphs. So if it does not have any graphs, what are we going to do? We're going to graph in our calculator. So look at number 1. It says, which equation is the parent function of the graph 2x squared minus 6? So think about it, parent function. When we write parent function on our formula chart, what do we put for, obviously, quadratics? Because that's what we're talking about. Y equals x squared. Well, do we have a y equals x squared? Yes. So that's our parent function. Okay, so now let's look at number 2. It says, when graphed, which function would appear to be shifted 3 units down from the graph? F of x equals x squared plus 1. So let's go to our calculator and graph this one right here. So make sure you clear out your calculator. Start with a clean graph. And let's graph x squared plus 1. Okay, so we have that right there. And they want to shift it 3 units down. So think about when you shift it 3 units down. What's moving? The vertex, right? So if the vertex is right here at 1, right? And we shift it 3 units down, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be at negative 2. Okay? So, look at your answer choices. We're shifting it 3 units down. So what's your answer going to be? C. Because we moved from that positive 1 down 3 units. Okay? All right, let's go to number 3. It says, in the graph of the function y equals x squared plus 7, which describes the shift in the parabola if the function 7 is changed to a 4. So let's clear out our calculator. Start with the new graph. Let's graph the equation in the problem. X squared plus 7. Okay, and that's way up there, right? You can barely see the corner of it. Go ahead and push tab. And it says they want to change 7 to 4. So let's graph x squared plus 4. And so you can see the very top, and then you can see this one. What happened? Did it go 11 units down, 11 units up, 3 units down, or 3 units up? 3 units down. Well, you could also see from 7 to 4 is down 3, right? Alright, so let's look at number 4. Number 4 is kind of like what we did yesterday. Okay? How do we determine if this opens up or down, being that we don't have a graph? Graph in your calculator. So x squared plus 6x plus 5. Okay, so we got that. Now, we want to go ahead and find our vertex now, or wait? Which one? Do you go ahead and find it now, or wait? Okay, so what do? Menu? 6. And then which one am I choosing? Minimum or maximum? Minimum. Click left, click right. It gives me a coordinate. So, does it open up or does it open down? Up. Does it have a minimum or a maximum? Okay. And what's my vertex? Negative 3, comma negative 4. And my axis of symmetry? X equals negative 3. And my value of my minimum is y equals negative 4. It's simple, right? Okay, so let's go back up to the top of this paper. Okay, it says, what is the effect of the graph in the equation y equals 2x squared when the equation is changed to y equals negative 2x squared? So clear out your calculator. and graph 2x squared, and then push tab, and then graph negative 2x squared. What is the effect? It flips, okay? So it says, look at your answer choice. It says, A, the x values for any given y are farther from the y-axis. So are they farther from the y-axis? No. The graph of y equals negative 2x squared is a reflection of y equals 2x squared across the x-axis. So what that means is they took it and reflected it over the x-axis. Okay? That's a possibility, so let's put a check mark right there. The graph is rotated 90 degrees about the origin. So that means it went like this and flipped sideways, or rotated. No. And the x values for any given y are closer to the y-axis. So your answer is B. Okay? So let's look at number 6. It says, in the graph of the function y equals x squared minus 1, which describes the shift in the vertex of the parabola if the function negative 1 is changed to 6. So we're changing that negative 1 to 6. So what is happening? Is it shifting 7 units down, 7 units up, 5 units down, or 5 units up? 7 units up, because negative 1 to positive 6 is 7 units up. Okay, number 7. What is the effect of the graph of the equation y equals x squared plus 1 when it is changed to y equals x squared minus 5? It says the slope of the graph changes. The curve translates in the positive x direction. The graph is congruent and the vertex of the graph moves down the y-axis, or the graph narrows. Okay, does everybody know what narrow means? Like skinnier? Like narrow streets? Skinny streets? Okay, so let's graph both of these. So clear out your calculator. You got x squared plus 1. Push tab. And then you got x squared minus 5. And what happened? According to our answer choices, which one's the best one?
What's congruent?
That means it's the same figure, it's just moved. There you go. Same figure, just moved. Okay, good. Alright, so let's flip the page. Alright, so look at 8. It says the graph of the function y equals x squared is given below. So they give us y equals x squared. It says how will the graph be affected if the coefficient of x squared is increased to 5? Now, what do you think coefficient means? Okay, well what's this little 2 called? An exponent, right? So that's not your coefficient. So you're not changing that. The coefficient is the number in front of x. So if I take, let's go ahead and graph y equals x squared. So let's graph y equals x squared, or just x squared. Push tab, and then just instead of graphing x squared, I'm going to graph 5x squared. So what happened? The parabola will be wider, narrower, it'll translate up, or it'll translate down. Narrower. Okay, I have to say that slow. Okay, there you go. So it'll be skinnier, okay? Remember, it's like shallow how? The bigger the number, the smaller the graph. The smaller the number, the wider the graph. You got to think different. Okay, let's look at 9. Number 9 says the graph of the function y equals x squared minus 3 is given below. How will the graph be affected if the constant is increased by 8? Okay, now, when we look at this, You got y equals x squared minus 3. The minus 3 is your constant. That's just a number, a constant number. They want to increase it by 8. So
let's go.
what's negative 3 plus 8? It's not 11.
5.
It's 5. So you would have y equals x squared plus 5. So they want to know what happened. Did the parabola get wider, narrower? Did it translate up, or did it translate down? So you graph both of those. You graph both of them in your calculator. X squared minus 3, and then x squared plus 5.
Would it translate up?
It would translate up. So your answer would be C. Okay, and then obviously 10 through 17 is just practice problems review. Okay, number 10, system of equations. Well, what do you do with system of equations? Menu 3-2. You write it down on your formula chart all the time. Number 11, you just do the FOIL and all that stuff, or not FOIL, claw, and then combine like terms. 12, you do the same thing. 13, 14, you do box or FOIL. 15 and 16, you're factoring. And then 17 is a big exponent problem. So I'm going to let you work on those.